guys, my name is Adam and I'm going to be reviewing my SansAmp Bass pedal, giving you an overview of the pedal itself, some of its settings and features, and also playing you some small clips to give you an idea of some of the different sounds it can make. Right, so first off I'm going to give you a quick explanation of the different dials on the pedal and sort of giving a quick explanation of what they do. So on the furthest left we have the level, which is fairly self-explanatory, controls the volume of the signal that goes through the pedal. Next up we have the blend, which is used to control how much of the signal that comes in from the input is changed by the SansAmp and how much is left clean. So obviously for most uses you probably want 100%, like full, like it's on now, but there are uses when it can be changed to a lower setting. Then next we've got the treble and bass, which obviously control the treble and bass frequency boosts and cuts. Now you'll notice there's no mid-range dial on this pedal, but to compensate for that they've added a feature where if the treble and bass knobs are turned up, then you get a what's known as a mid-cut, whereas if you turn them down it boosts the mid-range frequencies. And then next to that we've got the drive, which controls the level of overdrive and distortion and sort of grit you get in the tone. So where it's set about now I usually find gives a nice drive and a bit of grit to your tone, and then obviously if you decrease it you get no grit, you get a clean sound, and then if you turn it up more it starts to turn to distortion and fuzz and you get a very nice solo tone. And then right at the bottom there's the presence, which basically the higher the presence is, the more harmonic content and attack you have to the higher end of your frequency range. So obviously you increase and decrease that to your taste and sort of try as you go to get the right setting. Right, and then next I'm going to bring the pedal a bit closer to the camera and give you a quick show of what is on the sides. So obviously, labelled here, you have the input, which obviously comes from your instrument, and then here you have a parallel output, which basically means that the signal will run straight through the input, straight to the output, and you won't get anything from the SansAmp, even when it's on. And then on the other side you have an output here, XLR out, which you can send to a mixer or a PA or whatever, something like that. And then up the top here you have the 9V DC power supply input. And on the back, if you can see that there, that is the battery compartment. So it's obviously it's powered by a 9V battery or the 9V DC. Right, so now if I quickly just plug this back in, we can play through some sound clips, so I can give you guys an idea of what this pedal sounds like. Right, so next I am going to play you guys some stuff with the SansAmp with various different settings, so I can show you some of the different sounds you can get out of it, and hopefully give you a good idea of all the different things this pedal can do. Right, so first off we're going to start with all the sort of tone dials flat, the blend at 100%, the drive at about 40%, and I'm going to boost the level slightly just to give a clear sound when I record. So put that to about 60%, I usually find is quite good for recording with this setting. And so I'm going to play it each one through twice, once with my fingers and then once with a pick, just to show you the sound differences you can get between the two techniques. Right, so here's the first one through using my fingers. Right, so that was it played through with my fingers, and now I'm going to go through with a pick. And next we're going to go for a bit of a bass boost. So for this I'm going to adjust the bass up to about there for about sort of a 70%, so a decent level of boost, and because I've turned the bass up I'm going to adjust the level down, so that for about level for about 40, and then keep everything else the same. So all we've done is turn the bass up and then turn the volume going down. So that's, and then this should sound like this. First through with my fingers. Right, and now through with the pick. Next we are going to go for a bit of a treble boost. So for that I'm going to then return the bass to normal 50%, and then do the same with the treble, increase that up to 70, and then leave everything else the same. And so this should sound like this. First with my fingers. And now through with a pick. Right, so now we're going to go for something slightly different than just two of the controls at the same time. In this case we're going to go for bass boost up to about 70%, and also a treble cut, so cut that down to about 30%, and then give you an idea of what this sounds like. First through with my fingers. And now through with the pick. Right, next we're going to do the same, but do a bass cut and a treble boost. Now for this, I know from experience from the SansAmp, I will need to boost the level all the way up to 100 to get a decent signal running through, because if you take the bass out, obviously you lose a lot of the volume. So I'll play that through for you, first with my fingers. And now through with the pick. And then finally I'm going to reset these to flat, and just the level back down, and give you an idea of what it sounds with the slightly driven sound. So if I turn the drive up to about 60, and then the level down a bit to compensate to about 40 again, and then I will play that through for you twice through the fingers and then pick, and to give you an idea of what that should sound like. So first through with my fingers. And now playing through with the pick. And that should hopefully give you a sort of alright overview of what the pedal can do and some of the different sounds you can get out of it. Overall I think it's an absolutely brilliant pedal, very well made, very sturdy construction, and can do brilliant things, and very useful for everything from gigging to recording to just sitting at home practicing through a small amp. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Thank you very much.